Hello everybody, here from Tamera. Today was a special episode and it's questions and answers about the film Tamera, Taste of a New Culture. And for those of you who watched that film, you probably recognize who I have here with me today, Ina. Hi Ina.
Hello, hey Moritz.
How are you?
Very good.
Very good.
It's Sunday.
That's a good start. So today our idea is to answer some questions that came from the audience who watched the film and were curious about Tamera, and I hope that you can help me to answer these questions.
I will try my best.
All right, so let's start with the first one. Actually, before we start, I want to say it's an interesting day. I'm leaving Tamera in 2 days already, and it's the last time slot we could find now with a windy, very hot day, but we will go for it, and I'm sure it will be fine.
Yeah.
So, the first question that came: how did the people who regularly live in Tamera come to live here?
I mean, the first people which started to live here in Tamera, they came now more than 20 years ago. And these people were already connected with the project from longer term. So this project lives already was founded 40 years ago. And so when they heard about Tamera, they were very interested and came here for the first summer camp. And then afterwards they said, wow, yes, this is the future. We want to be part of it, and they arrived here. And so at first we were 30 people, and then after a certain time 50 people, and. And now I could say most of the people, they otherwise on one side they hear from friends or from their other projects. The Tamera is a very interesting place, and so they come first as a visitor. And maybe they make a course like a love school or other courses. And then they come again and again. And after a certain time, for example, they ask if they can really join. And they become the joiners. They call themselves joiners. And they go through a program to learn more about Tamera. And to see if it's really a place where they want to live, or if they want to take the knowledge and bring it back to their own projects. So this is a normal way to step in.
Yeah. I'm 2-3 steps in this process.
Yeah.
I came and liked it, came back, and this time already I'm in the season group for 3 months, and in my time here, I mean, I meet a lot of people like Ina described now, actually like from communities where 2 years ago I met the people here for the first time, and then they are now starting their own projects in Germany and Austria, for example, where now like people from Tamera go to support them in this process and bring some of the knowledge to try to make it not fail, especially on social level. No?
Yeah. I mean, now more and more people come also from California. They really want to start own projects there. And this is also something what we really want. So our place have not the capacity and not the wish that more and more people come and live here. We are more an education place that we really want to educate people that they can grow their own projects in the world. Because this knowledge has to spread through all projects. And if it's in Colombia, in Israel, Palestine, in California, in Africa, so many places are already involved. Yeah.
And Greece also, no? Scala.
And Greece, Scala.
That's already an episode. I was there last year, so I have to mention this. Greetings to Nikiforos and Anna.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. Do you happen to know of any other communities that do this sort of thing, preferably in North America? I mean, I myself, I've been like traveling a lot now, and again and again I try to find new places, and I have to say by now I feel very well connected. So basically not every country but most countries I have some names of people who could tell me what are the interesting projects that go on in your country. I'm planning to go, for example, to South America next year, and there I already have quite a few stops where I want to go. But for somebody who's not connected like this, I mean, really, I offer, contact me. I will, if I have ideas for you, I will help you out. And then I would say GEN network, Global Ecovillage network, is the place to go. I can put a link to this in the description, because it's like a association, a network of many projects all over the world. There's like GEN North America, GEN Europe, GEN Asia, and Africa, yeah, everywhere. And to go on this website, there you can find a list of all the member communities, and it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Do you have more ideas?
I would say this is the best way to find out what you are searching for also. I mean, I feel that Tamera is a very complex model and a very complex community. But sometimes you want to know more about this section of life or that section of life, and so it's good to look there and to connect the people and find out where you want to go.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, one thing that comes to my mind now is many people, when they start this path of community life, permaculture is a big step into this.
Yeah.
And if you really want to go for this, there are probably for a newcomer, let's say, it makes sense to start in a project more focused on this. And then my experience also is that Tamera really is for a later point. It's maybe not the first project to visit. But can be, of course.
Yeah, I mean, there are these big communities like Findhorn or Damanhur in Italy. They are also since such a long time creating community. They have also a lot of knowledge, and they do it in their way. So it is. It's also good to visit different communities. Yeah, to see what is the focus of these communities. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah.
Can anybody come to Tamera?
I would say anybody can come to Tamera. There is no border. It is, you can go on our website, you can look what we offer, and if there is something interesting for you, you can choose whatever you want. And so you just can write to our office and can come. Yeah.
Easy as that.
Yeah.
And
so easy.
The next one is connected in a way. Do you have to pay to be here?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that we have we get no official support or something like that. So everything what we created here, what we built here, we did it out of our own resources. Like if someone has some money from the parents or had a good job in the past or whatever. Or what we have is we have a network of people who support with donations. And so it is, we need just the money to make the place running. So it is a need that people pay for just what they need for accommodation and for food. And if there is someone who has, I would say, skills we urgently need, or if there is someone from another project and he is really involved in important work for the world, and he applies and says, can I get reduction or can I come for free? We are always open to support, so we do our best. But in general, we need at least a small amount of money to make this place running. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can also speak on this a little bit from my own experience, because for me being here now, I pay 20 euro every day, no? And I come to a point where I really look at this like it's an education center. Yeah, so I'm here. I get amazing vegan food every day. I'm cooking this also. We are cooking it, but yeah, this is a great start. But then, really, if I ask myself the question, where can I be in this world if I want to be surrounded by people who go for this kind of research? And then the answer is, I can't think of another place. So if I want to do this research and educate myself in this way, then I'm very happy to pay 20 euro a day, including everything. Like this means I spend more money living in Germany, paying rent and food and all this. So yeah, it's, if you look at it, I come and work and have to pay. Then I would say come here, stay here a bit and experience, and then you will understand in this way.
I mean, what you just said, no? When people come, it's you get food, you get accommodation, you learn to get how to live in community. You are part of the community events. We have the matinee, so there is a lot of program. And just now in the seasonal group, also 2 hours a day group time where we have forum and geistig hours to learn more what it is a plan of the healing biotope. So there is a lot, no? Yeah.
For sure, we will get to this at a later point also. And one thing that came to me now also, I remember quite a few situations where there were events here, particular now Terra Nova Summer, like the first time I was here. And there was 6 people from Ethiopia, from Colombia, from Brazil, and there was like fundraising happening before to make it possible that all these people can come also to this event. And I've seen this in different cases that there's an effort to make it possible for people who can't afford it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a bit freestyle today, but I'm good with it. Okay, yeah, the next one was now, how do you deal with it when someone cannot afford to come or participate in a course? I feel like we answered this, no?
Definitely.
Okay, this is an interesting one. I'm curious what you're going to say. What are the pros and cons about living in community?
I mean, I don't know if I can answer this general, but I can answer this what it means to live in a community in Tamera. And I start with a pro, and I can say to learn to live in community again, this is such a gift, because to get the skills to learn to live with other people together and not to be annoyed if someone does something what I don't like, or I just have to close, or I have to be angry. So to learn to communicate, no? To make a stand for what I really need and what I love, and also to learn to communicate with other people, that there is not any longer this kind of conflict which is boiling and boiling, but to get an understanding how to live together in a way that there is again respect and there is support. This is a huge task, no? Because normally when we live in a house with a lot of different flats, we hear the noise of the neighbor, and we don't know how to deal with this. Oops, there is an ant between my tongues sitting outside. And so this is, for example, one thing, to learn to communicate again. And then there to have so many different characters in one place. And for example, for the children, they have their mama and their papa, and they have more mamas and papas. So that means they have a role model, a female role model, which is creative, one who is more spiritual, one is an artist, and a papa who can build something, a papa who is a thinker. So the children can look around, and maybe at this age they choose this role model, and they choose this role model. So they have a variety of possibilities to grow and to see what's possible now. And I mean, there is also this kind of job sharing, to live in a place which is political working, very active, on a spiritual research, how to connect with life again. Like people who learn and know how to cook in the best way, people who can build houses, people who know about permaculture, people are teachers in school. So there is so much, and I have access to all these sections of life, and I get information firsthand, but I don't have to do all this alone. So I live in such an abundance. That's amazing, no? Yeah, and I think there's a lot of more. Now I want to say what's maybe difficult to live in the community, and that is definitely here in Tamera. We are so excited. We are so engaged. We have so many ideas what we want to do. We have so many projects we want to create, that often we work too much. We just work too much, and it's not so easy to take time to rest, just to have a free day. Because free day, Sunday, free day. No, can we have an interview?
Sorry.
No, I mean, this is joyful, no? Or there is tonight this and this and this and this. So it's really challenging to take the responsibility to say, okay, I know there's a lot of exciting things and would be great to join, and today I take my space and have a free day or a free hour or something like this. Yeah, this is for me the most challenging.
Yeah, I mean, that's really a very open question, where one could speak for hours.
Yeah.
And one thing that comes to me, I mean, it's not just people living in a place, but really people who are all share a vision, a goal, and all working towards this goal. And with this comes like a higher task to the whole place, and you can feel it wherever, in every area of life. This, I mean, I try to show this in the film, how in every act of the day, in a way, the question is asked, what processes do I contribute to when I do it, and is there a way I can do this in a more regenerative way, to work on the bigger vision, a new culture that's based on trust and cooperation. And this is a huge thing, and to be in a place then where the people are all working on this, that really creates the strong field of something higher purpose.
Yeah, if you mention this now, it's this kind of normally we have this question, what do I get out of this? No? If I invest something, my work, my money, my skills, we often have the question directly, what do I get out of it? And here's the question, how can I support? No?
Yeah.
And that's it's a question. This question is in a way leads us to support this higher goal, what we have, creating peace, creating a life without fear, and through this contribution, there we create a life that we, as a single person, get a lot of things back. No? We create a field where we can learn to move with less and less fear or sorrows, or and so there it comes a lot of joy and support comes back. But in the front, it's not the question: is it for me, or what do I get back from this?
Makes me think of the positioning also. I made a video, I think probably not everybody watched it, but the positioning is the process of finding the whole community coming together, let's say in the beginning of the year, to look for 1 year where do people work. And it's not like in the normal, the outside world where everybody has their individual job trying to make as much money as they can in a way, but more like, okay, these are all the things that we all need to be done, who is the good fit for which job. And because what's really great in this sense is that all these jobs that need to be done, many of them would not be profitable in the outside world. So I always think of the IGP, the Institute for Global Peace Work, where there are like 10 to 15 people really focused on connecting all these peace movements and projects and thought leaders of the world together and running campaigns and all these things. And this kind of work would not be profitable in a normal society. And like the artists also. There are actually like 3 artists here who their full-time job is to create art. And other jobs as well. No? But this kind of, for me, only can happen when you come together on a higher level of shared vision.
There is also something else. I mean, this is wow. No? It's a huge question. That I can say there only through their own life, no? From being born a child, becoming a young girl, becoming a young woman, becoming a woman, becoming a mature woman, becoming one day an old woman. When I look through this, I go through so many different archetypes in my life, and to have a place where I can grow fully in these archetypes and direct my life in this way that I really can be in this way, no? Like just take the mother archetype, no? To learn to be a mother, no? And to be this fully. Mostly in society, we become mother and we have to be, at the same time we have to work to make money and. So we never can go fully through this archetype. We cannot learn what this means. No? And this enriches the community because also, I mean in profession, like to be an artist, no? Where can you be just an artist and you are honored and you have the space to do all what you want to do in service of the project, and not thinking about can I make money with this, or maybe I have to go to a restaurant and work there to have the time or to have the money to make my art. So there is so many different possibilities to grow to this person, we say archetype, which you are. No? And this is very, very special in community. No? And it's important to, and this is what we do in our social work, that we find out who is this person, what's the special qualities of this person, and then to support that this can grow, because this enriches the whole community. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe so much for this. I mean, like you said,
yeah,
can
it's
speak
a
a
lot.
long time,
Yeah.
but let's move on. So, is Tamera really international, or is it better to speak a bit of German?
Woo. I mean, as Tamera is founded by people from Germany, it is still a very important language in Tamera. So it is great if people speak German. No? It is really great. And I can say we try a lot to use English, for example, as a main language, that when there are people from different nations, that we really speak English, so as a common language. And the whole community learns Portuguese now. We have different Portuguese class. The children are great. They speak German, they speak Portuguese, they speak English, and some more like Spanish. So they are the most advanced. And so I can say we try, and we have always translations when we have official meetings or events. So we have always also translation. And yeah, that's it.
I have to say I'm almost a bit surprised by your answer. I would have been more bold, I would say, and said it's you don't need German to be here.
Yeah.
I mean, especially people who come
Yeah.
for the first time when you're on the campus where like the guests are, where we are, and in our group now is many people from many places, and all the group times and things that happen are in English. What can happen is, okay, if there's a smaller group and they speak German among themselves, and you are not actually in this conversation and you overhear it, and then you can't follow or something. But we are always reminding ourselves also to switch to English, and even many times I find myself sitting with other German-speaking people and just speaking English.
Yeah.
So I say you don't need to speak German. But of course, there is a lot of German-speaking people here. Yeah, it's no secret. But at the same time, it's very international. All right. What kind of profile, job-wise, do you need? Is there a demand for people like web developers, marketing, communication? It's very specific now. Maybe also in general, what's needed?
What's needed? I mean, what we are in the moment very much looking forward is to have more people who help us with our infrastructure. So we need more handcraft people, like knowing how to work with solar energy, how to make the water management. So we are looking for handcraft people.
Carpenters, like this, you mean?
Carpenters, not so much, but like, was isn't this in installations of water?
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. This is the German-English thing now.
Okay. So, and
like plumber.
Yeah, like really people who like to work in their professions and to help to make our infrastructure better, because we were so much in our geistig development, social development, and more people came, and now we are on a point that we say, wow, we have to increase or make our infrastructure better, because otherwise we can't invite more people.
Yeah.
No? And we will have next year a certain special program for people who are handcrafts, and to invite them to work with their skills and to have also this kind of social embedment and getting Tamera to know from all sides. So to have really a full embedment in Tamera, and that they have joy to work also in their skills. Yeah. And I mean, from time to time we write on the website what we are searching for. And the thing is that most of the people who come also with really amazing skills, often we invite them at first to step into the social life and to get a ground under their feet in the social life, to how to know to move here, how to know to communicate, because when this is when they feel really comfortable in community, then it's great to work on their skills.
Yeah.
So this is the main focus we have, to invite the first, to learn to become a part of community.
Yeah, I think if somebody's now sitting at home thinking about coming here, then don't worry about your job.
Yeah.
When you come here for the first time, you're probably gonna either work, if you work and you're not coming for a seminar, it's gonna be the kitchen or the garden, and for this you don't need any
Special
skills.
No.
And then take it from there. But don't let this stop you if you didn't hear your profession now.
Yeah.
No? For sure, just if you're curious, get in contact like this. So, next question. What does a day look like in Tamera? Yeah, maybe I answer this one.
Yeah.
For me, my day starts at 10 to 7. I read a bit, most of the days. And then I go have a morning practice, I would say, where I do a short bit of yoga and meditation for half an hour. And then I get ready for breakfast. From 8 to 9 is breakfast time. And this time, actually, like, it's plenty of time to have breakfast, and I have like a friend here that I meet every morning, and we have like a space there every day. It's really nice. And then at 10 past 9 we come together with the kitchen team, and then usually Ina comes with some thoughts for the day, let's say, and we sit together with the kitchen team. We are like 15 people, and for roughly 1 hour until 10, let's say, we sit together and do different things. Sometimes we talk about geistig thoughts. Sometimes we share. Everybody can have a moment to speak what's moving them, what happened in the last day. Sometimes we go play frisbee. But it's an open slot in the day where we come together as the group and check in a way. Then depending on the day, for me I have 2 half-time jobs here in Tamera now, where I either, like, one day I go to the Institute for Global Peace Work, and there I'm working on the online course that will come soon, on June 19th. And the other days I work in the kitchen, where it's either cooking lunch or cooking dinner. And then from 2 to 4 we have group time with the season group. It's like the kitchen team, but also the people in the garden and in the other places. So we are like 30 people who are not really living here, but for the season coming here to stay for at least 3 months. And with this group we meet every day for 2 hours roughly. And also this space is different things that we do. Things where we see each other, where we show ourselves, with also things that normally out in the modern society we don't show ourselves with, make ourselves transparent with processes and contacts and all the things that go on in ourselves, really. But also we study new ways of, new perspectives, ways of looking at all sorts of things. Very open space, thought-provoking and touching, and yeah, group time. And then, depending on the day, work again in the afternoon or not. And besides that, yeah, maybe this is a slot where on some days I have time to do my laundry or work on a video sometimes when I find the time, or yeah, meet friends, jump in the lake. Yeah, it's a open slot in a way. And at 7 we have dinner until 8, or yeah, roughly, let's say. And then every day is different also, no? All these things. This is a rough idea about the day, but most of the days there's some sort of program in the evening, which can be self-organized, where we just do in our group evenings of, we have some great artists and dancers and theater people in our group who offer something every Tuesday, for example. So it's like an experimental dance space, something I personally probably wouldn't like go look for or never did before, but now that I'm here and they're my friends and it's offered, I go there and really enjoy it, for example. Or we do a men's circle and the women's circle, of course, also once a week. And oftentimes there's in the community, like offered for everybody in the community, in the cultural center, something called Political Cafe, which is like an evening with a focus on a topic where somebody, oftentimes actually from that place, will give a overview, I think now of Filiz from Turkey. After the election, she spoke a bit on the situation, on her impressions, or yeah, other things like this. It's a recurring thing, the Political Cafe, and other things. Yeah. Many things, really. No? Always, most of the days something's happening. If there's nothing happening, it's welcome also to just have an evening to see what comes in a way. And like this, we're quite busy, no? Long days, always something going on, and intense time always here in Tamera. For me, I'm going now in a few days. I'm really also looking forward to go to a little bit slower pace. For you, I mean, 17 years of
community,
this kind of daily structure. It's strong, I would imagine.
I mean, we have this sentence of responsible participation in community. That means that we, as community members, we have also meetings for the whole community to share, to inform. We call it plenary, and other meetings. And as we are so busy and we have all projects running, so it means you look that you try to be on all meetings to get the information, and also you look that when you need time for something else, that you stay away and inform yourself afterwards. So that means not you have to be always everywhere, but it means you try to be in all possible meetings, and you look when you need time for other things and try to be informed.
Okay. So one of the things that we do during our group time between 2 to 4 is the forum. What's the forum?
What's the forum? The forum is, we can say it is one tool which we use now since the beginning of the project, so more or less since 40 years. And it is a way, I mean, to describe it how it looks from the setting is people sit in the circle we have one or two person, or mostly two person, who are leading this kind of group time, and persons from the circle step into the middle, and this person tries to make transparent what's moving him or her. And the most important is that there is, before we start with Forum, that we create in the group a certain way of trust. So it's not what you just do with people you don't know. So at first it's something like community building, trust building, and when there is a feeling now people are trust each other and are on this level of, yes, I want support this person, then we start with Forum. So this person steps into the middle, and the Forum's leader tries to support the person in the middle to share as deep as possible what's moving. And I mean, this is the first step of Forum. And the advanced Forum, or actually what we really call Forum, is when we are able to perform in the middle what's moving us without being identified. Because when we, for example, when we are angry and we step into the middle and we are not identified, we can perform it in a way. So like being very slow in our anger or something like this. So sometimes we ask the person to speak in a different language or something like this. So it is to become a witnesser of the own emotions and not to identify anymore. And when we can step out of identification and we can see what's moving us, we can go on a deeper level of insights. So we get insights what's really under this anger, and maybe what's under the sadness, and. So it is a tool on one hand to make ourselves transparent, because we see when someone is visible, we start to laugh, because then we are not facing the surface. We really touch the deeper core of this person, and then always laughs arise. No? And in this way, it's also important to know that the person who steps in the middle and makes himself transparent is a representative for a certain issue what moves everybody. So the people around are holding the space and know that what he or she brings in the middle is in a way an issue of everybody in the middle, in this circle. So it is, he is or she is a representative for a certain issue which moves humanity. And so it is a healing space for this individual person, and it's a healing space to understand deeper what humankind are dealing with. So it is one of our most important tools. And now when community people come together, community members which are used to it, we can go really very, very, very deep. No? Yeah.
Maybe I say a few words from like a visitor's perspective, because when I first came and I was directly in a group that the Terra Nova group, where already people knew Forum and stepped right in and were doing it. And it took me a while to understand what's actually going on. And so even with that experience, not just explanation of how it actually works, but even with the experience, it took me a while to understand and see the huge value of this work. And now it's already a lot of time passed. I have to admit I'm still not the most active forum person, because yeah, it's quite a challenge also to step up, and most of the time for myself now, on the day when we actually have forum, I feel like I don't have anything to go into the forum with. I'm pretty fine actually, but then when I actually go inside, it's really powerful. And for example, 2 days ago we had forum, and I kind of said to myself, okay, I'm leaving on Tuesday, and I know that if I go into the forum, it will create movement, and it will give me something to work with on questions. So I did manage to get up, and I shared something that I don't have very clear actually for myself, but just I had moments in the week before where I was triggered by situations, and I could observe my own behavior, but was very difficult for me to not react in the situations. And basically I went into the middle and shared actually like some thoughts around it, but also the situations that actually happened with the whole group. And now I really mean like describing the situation, who was involved, and like this, also other people from the group, and to show myself with this already moved so much from me. And now it's a reflection time starting in a way where I can work with the things that I gained through making this transparent and showing myself, but also the mirrors that came. No? Because after I went in the middle, there's an opportunity for other people from the group to come into the middle and tell what they saw when I was there. And oftentimes it's something very different than how I perceive myself in this. And yeah, I have, over the time that I spent in Tamera now, really witnessed so many amazing, touching moments in the forum, where I really feel like I cannot think of another space where this kind of processes happen in such a way, and how strong the trust grows among the group when they come together like this. So it's really, I would say, also a specialty of Tamera and maybe some other projects where they use this tool, and it's yeah, very
powerful,
recommendable to, if you have the opportunity to experience, I can really recommend to go for it and dare.
Yeah.
Okay, big switch.
Big switch.
Somebody must have been here already and is wondering, how is the tree nursery doing?
How is the tree nursery doing? Oh, I mean, I can say I'm not involved in all projects, so that I know definitely it's on this standard. I know that we have one person who is really engaged in this, and his job is just planting trees, going for the tree nursery, and I mean, when you saw the movie of from Moritz last time, you could see how the area looked before and how it looks now. We have so many trees and so many fruit trees that we now have a new job, and that's actually to harvest all the fruits we have now. So we create new jobs with that. No? So I think it's doing well.
Yeah, that's my impression also.
Yeah.
And wow, I feel like it's a lot already, but there's one more question. What do you like most about Tamera? I mean, we can maybe both go for it. I would maybe, in a way, I feel it's been answered already. Like, for me, I will go with to be in a place where people are, where I'm surrounded by people, let's say, who share this readiness to go for a radical shift. It's actually the beginning sentence of the movie where Vera says the most important thing is the readiness for radical self-transformation, I think she says.
Yeah.
And it's like this. For me, the best part is to be in a place where people feel this readiness, and then it means that they are ready to get mirrors, like in the forum, to work on structures that keep manifesting this chaos that we see in the world, and to work on them, to look really on own inner structures. What are the mechanisms? Why am I doing things like this and reacting like this, and how can I find a way to not do it anymore and find other pictures of living together in a different way? And to be around people like this is for me what I really appreciate when I'm here.
Yeah, definitely. And I can say for me the complexity of Tamera is for me one of the treasures. That we work on a spiritual level, that we work on a political level, that we work like learning to support the land in the best way, that we learn more about water, that we have own way to educate children, that they have not this kind of traumatic situations in school, that women know already again what is a woman, that a man knows what is a man. So we have so many different topics we are working on, and so deeply connected in all sections of life to bring healing again in life. That's for me amazing, no? Not to be only fixed on one single focus. So we have so many things we work on, and so that means I'm in abundance of life. No? Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah.
So this was the last question from the official list, and I prepared two more for you. The first one is, let me see how. Why does one day in Tamera feel like 1 week compared to the outside world?
I mean, we explained this already, because I can say my day starts in the Archon school, which means it's a philosophical circle where we come together early in the morning, just after the first tea or coffee, to create a field of thinking. No? That means thinking is an action between the heart, the spirit and the Geist. So trying to bring us on a higher level so that we start from a higher level of consciousness our day, for example. No? This is already wow. No? And then it goes on. And what I said, this kind of abundance, no? To be in touch with so many streams of life. And this is a lot of nourishment for the whole system, and also so many experience in one day. No? So sometimes when I go to bed in the evening, I say, wow, I experienced so many different things in this day. It's so full that it's necessary to take time to digest.
Yeah. And then we have like, we start the day, I'm sitting on the table with 10 friends or more, depending on what table I go to. And then I work together with them, and we eat together lunch, and we have group time together. And maybe some people go to the garden and we speak in the morning about something, and already in the afternoon everything is different. And in the evening again everything is different.
Yeah.
And so this really, this fast pace of process, inner process especially.
Yeah.
No? It's what happens in outside very much on a much slower scale, I think.
Yeah, you cannot stay with something over a long time. You will move it, and you will get support, and so you can move inner things also quite fast.
Okay, one final question for you is, what is the secret in the kitchen. Everybody who comes here, me included, it's such a blessing, this food, every day, again and again. And how do you do it?
I think it sounds a little bit esoteric, but it is not at all esoteric. But it is to create the joy to be together as a group, to have a task, to know, yes, we want to create nourishment for the people. We get the best ingredients, what we can get here, and to really work with joy. And when there is someone is doing his job with joy, it goes through the nourishment. It goes through the food. It goes to the picture when an artist creates a picture or whatever. If you are a carpenter and you really are fully connected with your work and you create a table, people pass by and say, wow, what's with this table? That's so beautiful, because you feel the energy is inside of this material. And that's also with the food. I think that's the secret. Do the things with joy and love.
That we try to do. I mean, I work in the kitchen and my job mostly is chopping stuff, and then I hand it over, then something magical happens, and then I eat it and I'm like, wow. But yeah, it's great.
I would say we have so beautiful kitchen mamas.
That's true.
They are beautiful inside and outside, and they do really this kind of cooking and being with people, creating community, creating good food with a lot of joy. And I'm full of gratitude for this kind of readiness and their effort.
To see this in action, that's the episode we did with the glamorous celebration lunch, I think it's called.
Yeah.
So check that out if you want to see the kitchen team in action. Those were my questions.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to add?
Yeah, I would love to add something.
Go
and this
for
is, I can say, I want to give huge gratitude to Moritz that he is creating this movies, and I feel also his joy and his love to bring new information to the world in this way. And I feel it's amazing how he does it in between IGP working, cooking shift, making group time, sitting there and producing the next movie, getting inspiration and bringing this into the world. And I'm full of gratitude for your work and also for your way you are here in Tamera. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good last words maybe for today.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, thank you, Ina, for taking time on Sunday even afternoon also.
Yeah.
And see you soon, and then we make more videos.
Yeah. Great. Thank you.
Okay, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If there are more questions still, I'm sure I will find a way to answer also those. So feel free to post your questions. That's it for today. Ciao.
Ciao.